Have you ever wondered why your erection weakens with age, yet your body can still produce a strong, fast response when the right stimulus is applied? As a physician, I see the same pattern in older men every week. The erection does not disappear because the body stops working. It disappears because the body stops receiving the signals it once responded to automatically. And this is exactly why a simple, 1-minute routine can bring the erection mechanism back online, even in men well into their 80s. The truth is that erections depend on 3 physiological triggers: nitric oxide release, vascular expansion, and smooth muscle relaxation inside the penis. These systems slow down quietly with age, but they do not shut down. They simply become inactive from lack of stimulation. The routine you are about to learn is designed to target these exact mechanisms safely, naturally, and quickly. This routine works because it awakens pelvic circulation, reopens arteries that have become narrow, and increases the oxygen reaching the erectile tissue. Even more importantly, it activates the endothelial lining, the structure responsible for releasing the nitric oxide your body no longer produces in high amounts. Without nitric oxide, there is no erection. With it, the changes can be surprisingly fast. Unlike medications, this method does not force the body. It restores the body's own ability to respond. And for older men, this difference is everything. Your body is not broken. It is waiting for the right signal. Before we continue to the next topic, take a moment to check if you are already subscribed to the channel. If this explanation is helping you understand your body better, leave a like. And comment the word routine so I know you are following every step with full attention. As a doctor, I often hear older men assume their erection faded simply because the body got old. But age by itself is not the cause. What really happens is a slow, silent breakdown of the systems that create and maintain penile pressure. These changes accumulate over years, and by the time a man notices a weaker erection, the process has already been developing in the background. The first system to decline is the endothelium, the thin layer inside your blood vessels responsible for producing nitric oxide. When you were younger, the endothelium released nitric oxide instantly, allowing your arteries to open wide and send blood rapidly into the penis. With age, inflammation, reduced mobility, stress, and decreased oxygen damage these cells. A stiff or inflamed endothelium produces very little nitric oxide, and without nitric oxide, the erection cannot form, regardless of desire. The second issue involves the smooth muscle tissue inside the corpora cavernosa. These muscles must relax completely so the penile chambers can fill and trap blood. By the time a man reaches 60, 70, or 80, these muscles often remain partially tight due to years of low circulation and micro damage. When the muscle cannot relax, the penis cannot build pressure. Next comes the decline in pelvic microcirculation. Many men assume their heart and main arteries are the only important parts of circulation. But the smallest vessels, the ones that supply the pelvic region, are the first to narrow with age. This narrowing does not block blood flow entirely but slows the speed at which it can reach the erectile chambers. Erections require a sudden surge. Slow flow means weak rigidity. Hormonal changes also contribute, but not in the way many expect. Most older men still have enough testosterone, but the hormone receptors lose sensitivity. This weakens libido and reduces the brain's ability to trigger a full erectile response. Finally, the nervous system becomes less efficient at sending rapid signals to the pelvic region. The communication is still there, it is simply slower. None of these changes are permanent failures. They are functional declines, which means they can be reactivated. And this is exactly why the 1-minute routine is so effective. It stimulates nitric oxide production, reopens the pelvic arteries, and forces the smooth muscle to relax, rebuilding the erection mechanism even at 80. Most older men assume they need medications or complex therapies to restore their erection. But as a physician, I can tell you that the body often responds faster to simple, targeted stimulation than to anything else. The 1-minute routine works because it activates the exact physiological components that weaken with age: nitric oxide production, pelvic circulation, and smooth muscle relaxation. The routine is built on 3 scientifically grounded elements, all designed to work together in less than 60 seconds. First, it uses a very specific breathing technique known as diaphragmatic expansion breathing. This type of breathing increases oxygen delivery, reduces tension in the abdominal region, and gently stimulates the vagus nerve. The result is more relaxed smooth muscle and a stronger ability for the erectile tissue to respond. Second, the routine includes slow, controlled pelvic movements. These movements are not exercise. They are vascular activation. Your pelvic arteries sit deep inside the body, and they only open fully when the hip joints move in specific angles. These slow motions trigger a reflexive widening of the arteries that supply the penis, increasing blood flow almost immediately. Third, the routine incorporates a posture that reduces pressure on the pelvic floor. When men sit for long periods, which is extremely common at older ages, the pelvic floor becomes tight and restricts blood movement. This routine releases that tension, allowing blood to travel freely. When these 3 elements happen at the same time, expanded breathing, pelvic activation, and pelvic floor release, the body begins producing more nitric oxide, the arteries open, and the erectile muscle receives more oxygen. You are not forcing an erection. You are restoring the conditions that make an erection possible. That is why this routine works even at 80. The erectile system is still there. It just needs to be reactivated with the right signal, a signal this routine delivers perfectly. As a physician, I want to make sure you perform this 1-minute routine the right way. When done properly, it triggers nitric oxide release, increases pelvic circulation, and relaxes the smooth muscle inside the penis, the 3 foundations of a strong erection. When done incorrectly, the effect becomes weak or disappears entirely. Here is the correct, medically guided sequence. Step 1. Stand upright with relaxed shoulders. Start by aligning your posture. A straight but relaxed stance opens your chest, improves oxygen movement, and reduces compression on the pelvic region. This simple adjustment already increases circulation. Step 2. Use diaphragmatic breathing. Place one hand on your lower abdomen and breathe slowly into that hand. Your belly should rise, not your chest. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 1 second, and exhale for 6 seconds. This slows the heart rate, widens your pelvic arteries, and prepares the erectile tissue to receive blood. Step 3. Begin slow pelvic rotations. Rotate your hips gently in a circular motion, 5 times in each direction. This movement stimulates deep pelvic arteries that rarely activate during normal sitting or walking. The goal is not exercise, it is vascular awakening. Step 4. Shift your body weight. Move your weight from one leg to the other in a slow, controlled rhythm. This creates alternating pressure inside the pelvic region, improving blood flow and oxygen delivery to the corpora cavernosa. Step 5. Release pelvic floor tension. Exhale deeply and allow your pelvic floor to relax. Older men often carry unconscious tension in this area, especially after years of sitting. This tension restricts erection pressure. Releasing it opens the pathway for blood to enter the penis more easily. Step 6. Continue for 1 full minute. You should feel warmth, openness, or light pressure in the lower abdomen. These are signs that the erectile mechanism is waking up. This routine does not force your body. It prepares it. And preparation is the key to restoring erectile function in men over 60, 70, and 80. As a doctor, I always tell my older patients, when this routine begins working, your body will give you clear and reliable signals. These signals are not vague feelings or imagination. They are direct physiological reactions showing that nitric oxide is rising, circulation is improving, and the erectile tissue is waking up again. The first sign is warmth in the lower abdomen or pelvic region. This occurs because blood vessels begin to widen, allowing more blood to flow through the arteries that feed the penis. For men in their 60s, 70s, or 80s, this warmth often hasn't been felt in years, which is exactly why it is such a powerful indicator. The second sign is a sense of heaviness or fullness in the penis, even when you are not sexually stimulated. This happens because the smooth muscle inside the corpora cavernosa is finally releasing tension, creating space for blood to enter and stay. Many older men are surprised by this sensation, because it feels like the erection mechanism is turning back on. A third sign is faster response time. Erections that used to take long stimulation or effort begin appearing more quickly. This improvement comes from better endothelial function and stronger nitric oxide signaling, both triggered by the 1-minute routine. Another important sign is the return of morning firmness, even if it is partial at first. Morning erections are one of the strongest indicators of cardiovascular and erectile health. When they return, it means the system is rebuilding pressure during the night, a major milestone for older men. Finally, many men report a subtle rise in confidence and readiness, not for psychological reasons, but because the body feels physically capable again. When the erectile mechanism responds, the brain naturally follows. These early changes prove that your erection is not gone. It was dormant, and now it is reactivating. As a doctor, I have seen many older men follow the routine correctly, but still fail to see results. And the reason is almost always the same: a simple morning mistake that silently reverses everything the routine is trying to activate. This mistake tightens your blood vessels, blocks nitric oxide, and collapses pelvic circulation before it can reach the penis. The first and most damaging mistake is using caffeine too early, especially strong black coffee on an empty stomach. Caffeine triggers a cortisol spike, and cortisol causes your blood vessels to constrict. This means that while the routine is trying to open your arteries and increase blood flow, the caffeine is forcing them to tighten. For many men over 60, this alone stops the erection mechanism from reactivating. The second mistake is holding your breath or breathing incorrectly during the routine. If you tighten your chest, raise your shoulders, or breathe shallowly, the pelvic arteries cannot open. Breath controls pressure inside the abdomen, and without proper diaphragmatic breathing, you block the exact pathway the routine is designed to stimulate. The third mistake is sitting down immediately afterward. Sitting compresses pelvic circulation, slowing oxygen flow and reducing the blood supply to the erectile chambers. Older men often spend long periods seated, which only worsens the issue. If you sit too soon, you undo the vascular activation you just created. Another common issue is eating sugary foods right after the routine. Sugar inflames the endothelial lining, the part of your vascular system responsible for releasing nitric oxide. Instead of helping you, the sugar weakens the tissue the routine is trying to repair. Individually, these mistakes seem small. But together, they prevent your body from producing enough nitric oxide, opening the pelvic arteries, and relaxing the smooth muscle inside the penis. Fixing these issues is essential. Without correcting them, even the best 1-minute routine cannot bring your erection back. The 1-minute routine becomes dramatically more effective when it is paired with 2 additional actions that support circulation, nitric oxide, and smooth muscle relaxation. As a physician, I recommend this combined approach to older men because it creates the ideal internal environment for erections to return consistently. Action 1. Add early hydration immediately after the routine. Drink a glass of water within the first minutes of completing the movements. Hydration increases plasma volume, allowing nitric oxide to travel more efficiently through your bloodstream. If your blood is too thick or your vessels are not well hydrated, the erectile tissue cannot receive the oxygen and pressure it needs. Action 2. Use a low-sugar, low-inflammation breakfast after hydration. Choose a small breakfast that supports vascular flexibility. Healthy fats and clean proteins help stabilize endothelial function. Avoid pastries, cereals, sweet spreads, or sugary drinks. These inflame the endothelium, reduce nitric oxide release, and weaken the very response the routine is designed to build. Action 3. Stay lightly active for 1 or 2 minutes. Do not sit immediately after the routine. Walk slowly, stretch gently, or remain standing. This keeps pelvic circulation high and prevents blood from pooling in inactive areas. Even a small amount of gentle movement gives the nitric oxide time to take effect before you settle into your day. When these three actions, hydration, supportive nutrition, and gentle movement, are combined with the routine, they reinforce each other. They open the arteries, relax the muscles inside the penis, and restore the pressure needed for a firm erection. Over time, this simple protocol becomes a reliable foundation for strong, fast, and stable erections, even for men in their 70s and 80s. If you watched this video all the way to the end, it means you are truly committed to understanding your body and restoring your erection in a natural and medically safe way. Before you leave, take a moment to check if you are already subscribed to the channel. That way, you will not miss the next videos where I continue guiding you through this process step by step. If you stayed until the final moment, comment the words 1 minute so I know you are part of the group that follows the complete method with full attention. And do not forget to like this video. Your support helps this information reach more men who need clear, honest, and science-based guidance. Now go ahead and watch the next video that is appearing on your screen. It continues exactly from where this one stops and gives you the next steps to strengthen your erection even more.